Hello. So I know it's very hard to understand the squatting hip roll from a linear newsletter with just a few pictures in it. So here's your extra video to go along with newsletter number 8 as we learn about the squatting hip roll, because where this is useful is when you feel like you want to have a full-blown panic attack because life just isn't working out for you, but you need to get yourself under control so you can get back to your center and get your life back on track. Because while I'd like to say that the world is very supportive and will help you on your way, it's often not the case. We got to just pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and keep moving. So this is my room. It's a rental. Walls are less than perfect. I do what I can, but I'm not going to spend the time, money, and energy on something that I'm going to move out of soon. And I don't always have bare feet, but I will tell you that when you're feeling a loss of center, the best thing is to get outside, get your feet in the grass. But since it's winter here in Pennsylvania, and because most of us don't have access to that, especially not when we're feeling the way that we might be feeling inside, all disorganized and off center, you do what you can. So for me, bare feet is always great. This is the kind of thing I would teach in my class, so welcome to the class. I want to talk to you about the squatting hip roll. First, I'm going to explain to you your body positioning. Any of you who've taken yoga will recognize cat and cow positions. Cat and cow, which is what I call rounded and arched. Rounded and arched. So what to me that feels like in my body is being willing to go down to the base, the arched part, to really sink into what's happening in the world for me, so that I can then arch my back, arch to round my back, but so that I can gather back in what energy and resources I have. Because that's the strength of women right there. We are the womb that brings together two strands of DNA and creates babies. We have that exact same energy inside of us. So I think of it as like forming a quilt. When you have a quilt, you've got the bottom layer, you've got the center padding, and you've got the top. You have to go deep down, then you go all the way up, down, up, down, up. And before you know it, you have a quilt through your hard work and your effort, and that quilt brings you both comfort and resources. That's the strength of being able to go down deep and bounce back up. Down, up, down, up. Rounded, arched. Rounded, arched. Rounded, arched. So now, the key and why it's so beneficial, this, for survival, you got to protect your insides. So, forming a triangle, hands on one hand on one knee, one hand on the other knee, your head, you can even round, arched, round, arched, round, arched. But the key is you're protecting your womb, you're protecting the umbilicus, and you're doing the best you can to protect your heart. You're always leading with your heart. You have to. It's just the way. If you want to be a human, don't lose dignity, don't want to lose respect, your own integrity, you have to always lead with your heart. It's another strength of women. There's so many. So, make your triangle. Gather your strength. The thing that feels so chaotic and out of control right now because life is growing inside of you. Life is doing what it does. It goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. And the world tries to get us to spread ourselves so thin and get us out of whack. Well, what we need to do is get ourselves back to revolving, orbiting around our own center. So back into the squatting hip roll, knees, feet about shoulder length apart, sink down. There's nothing wrong with going down. Going down is good. You want to make that same triangle with your 2 feet and the seat, your bum. So think about 3 points down there. So now that's much more stable than just trying to stand upright and dodge and weave and everything continues to come at you. Let your energy sink. It looks chaotic from the outside, but it's really just gathering our center first. Hands on your knees. Now, just as I said, ground your seat, we're going to imagine there's a beam of light coming down through the center. Because there is, whether you believe in any kind of a Christ consciousness, or you just believe in universal energy, or you believe in God, whatever it is, it's clear that there's a universe out around us. And that's the energy that we need to use. We need to pull down on that energy, but root ourselves into the ground. This is how we form that stability. So our feet are always on the ground, but the way that we root is to connect that beam of light, that beam, down to the center. So now imagine you have that beam of light coming out from your bottom. Now also imagine you have a circle that's drawn around your feet. Okay? That represents Mother Earth. We are Mother Earth. We are part of Mother Earth. Our body is the key, and our emotions are just a little out of whack. Her atmospheric pressure has been gaining, and now we want to come in out of the elements and find our shelter. So this is how we do it. Root yourself down. Take that pointer that right now is down in the middle of your circle and adjust it to either the front or the back of your circle. It doesn't really matter which, front or back. Start whichever way you want, and then you circle, trace that circle with the pointer all the way around. And again, this is the same. You can go to the right, then to the left, go to the right, then to the left, or you can go left, then to the right, left, and then to the right. Let me show it this way. Sink down, root, take that pointer, push it back or push it forward, either way, and then make a circle. Make a circle. And you're going to feel it in your thighs. I'm already feeling it in my thighs. Woo! Woo! And then shake it out if you are. Now here's the... Oh, I got goosebumps. This is why I know it works. So now, when you have a big problem, it feels like you're just like out of control and you just want to rage. I tend to go right to left if I'm feeling that kind of an anger. But if things have been stewing for a long time, for whatever reason, that feels like a tinier circle. And to me, it's usually going left to right. And I think I've learned, for me, it helps my brain go more precise. It's as though I'm drilling down, down, down. And what happens by the time I get down, I kind of feel a little point of resistance, and then I feel the energy push back up. Now, what I suspect that is, because I have birthed 3 babies, unmedicated, 2 of which were at home, 2 of which I would call ecstatic births, not the same 2 that were home. The first and the last were ecstatic. The second and the third were home births. But what I know that I felt was that first, the expansion of the uterus opening. That's that. And then I also felt the constriction of going tighter. It's how a baby gets out of the birth canal. So for women, it's the same way that we get our emotions up and out. And I suspect those kinds of rhythms in life the seasons, the rainfall, the sunshine. They are all the things that we need to strengthen the roots below and to grow the foliage above. Now, flow and rhythm, the give and the take in our linear world gets villainized, or gets called crazy, or gets called just feminine. And that's why we as women have had to perform for others, trying to get them to remember what is valuable about having us and the feminine around. And that's why I think the stationary hip roll is your first important, what I learned as a tool to turn men on in my 20s. Now that I'm in my 50s, I realize was likely a survival skill. Likely a survival skill, because women wouldn't be able to express themselves emotionally without it having very negative ramifications. And I've tried myself to talk through these things in a very logical, intelligent way. And despite all the things I know about physics and chemistry and any kind of subject, when it comes out, because it's a very feminine subject matter, it comes out sounding like gobbledygook. But there's no denying that there's a power and an energy that happens. It's better than any marketing ad you've ever seen. It commands attention, but there's nuances. And those nuances are what we're going to investigate over the next couple weeks, because this is new for me. Doing it from a place that's for us, completely about not only surviving, but now thriving. That is the adventure we're going to be on together. So I hope you tune in each week, read the newsletter. Right now, with the password that I gave you, feminine intelligence, you can come and you check out the extra video each week. Eventually it will be under a paywall, but for now I want more people to see it. So spread the word, pass this on to your friends if you want, because our body is definitely the key. And I think the key to getting men out of their minds and to their hearts is to remind them that going down through the hills, down to the mountains, even though it's hard work, the prairie ahead, once you survive, you've got to learn to thrive. And when we thrive as a nation, as a world, it's only going to be through both the feminine and the masculine. Feminine and the masculine. We'll keep making our quilt over here on the feminine side. They keep building their structure without us. Eventually it will topple. And then maybe they'll turn our way. So we will be ready with open hearts when that time comes. So if you want to join me in the venture, sign up for the newsletter, subscribe, now be in your inbox every Sunday. Till the next time, be free, be happy. I hope you learn from me. But who knows? Who knows if any of this makes sense? Because I'm just a girl.